make Japanese great again. I'm going to build that knowledge base, and you're going to pay for it with time. Okay. What are we doing here? Oof. All right. Welcome to Japanese from Zero. This is Course 2, Lesson 9. We are continuing down our amazing road of learning casual Japanese. What we just covered in the last video was how to make things negative and past tense negative, and even future and present tense. But there's one tense we didn't cover, and that is... Oh, we're going to get to that in the next video, sorry. Oops. That's coming up in the next video, but before that, we need to know how to make informal of des. I kind of skipped over that because it's not tricky, it's just doesn't mesh with what we did for verbs, and verbs are very important. And we're going to learn how to make questions. We didn't actually make any questions except for ikanakatta desu ka, but that's not informal. We didn't make an informal question yet. So that's what we're going to do. We need to know the new particle, the question marker no. Okay, which we have not done yet. And you do need to know yayu, yo, wa, wa, un. Let's talk about informal des. There's two things that happen with des. One, des becomes da. Sounds very Russian. Da. Des becomes da. So if you want to say it's a dog, it becomes inu da. It's a dog. Inu da. Done. Very straight. Inu des, inu da. Past tense, deshita becomes datta. Remember, it's a little tsu, so you're going to have that little space and sort of a little extra stress on the next ta. Datta. Okay, inu datta. Okay? So let's say you are out doing Pikachu hunting. You're doing Pokemon Go. Like I literally, for 3 hours last night, was at a park here in Las Vegas. I took 3 gyms. I trained my gym up to level 6, and then I went home. It was like 4 in the morning. And I'm in this very, very scary park. There is a lot of punk kids in this park, and I walk by going, like, oh, please don't attack me. But I mean, they're just normal kids, but you don't know who they are. So at one point, I was walking, and 4 of them started following me. So I like jumped my pace up, and turns out they were just walking to their car, but I was still frightened. And then when I look back around to the park, there's another group of kids, and I go, yo, man, what team are you? I'm like, oh God, don't let this go wrong. I'm Instinct. Oh man! I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm the dumb team. I'm the team that everyone makes fun of. So if you're in the park and you're doing Pokemon and you see a great Pokemon, you might be able to say, ah! Oh, I realize we don't know this katakana yet. Sorry, we don't know all this katakana. Pikachu da! It's Pikachu! Pikachu da! You would just say da. You wouldn't say, to your friends, you certainly wouldn't say, Pikachu desu! Pikachu desu! That would be awkward. Pikachu da! And then let's say, your friend said, well, I didn't hear what you said. What? What was it? Pikachu datta. Pikachu datta. It was Pikachu. All right. What if today is Monday and you say, yep, today is Monday. Informal. 今日は月曜日だ. None of the other Japanese grammar rules change. You still have your wa. Not a problem, right? You just des becomes da, and now you are informal. 今日は月曜日だ. So if today is Monday, what does that make yesterday? Today isn't Monday, by the way. Today is like Saturday or something. But in this situation, if today is Monday, what was? What was yesterday? 昨日は日曜日だった. 昨日は日曜日だった. All right. What does that make tomorrow? 明日は I forgot. 明日は火曜日だ. 明日は火曜日だ. Tomorrow is Tuesday. All right, great. Now let's do a big topic, informal questions. We haven't covered informal questions yet. All right, so here's the thing. Ka becomes no. Okay, that's the first thing. Ka becomes no. Okay, but desu ka becomes nano. You know, it's a little bit weird. We're going to find out what that means in a section in a second. What that does mean is that if you have ikimasu ka, that's just ka. But if you have inu desu ka, that's desu ka. And that would have to become nano. So let's look at it. Tokyo ni iku no? And you're going to make it definitely sound like a question, okay? And Japanese people will use the question mark. Because without the question mark, it means something different. We'll learn that also in a bit. So Tokyo ni iku no? Are you going to Tokyo? Tokyo ni itta no? Did you go to Tokyo? Tokyo ni itta no? Now, even though that could be, no, I'm not going to cover that right now. That's coming up. Tokyo ni itta no? Did you go to Tokyo? How about this one? Pikachu datta no? Was it a Pikachu? Pikachu datta no? I'm sorry that I'm using katakana you guys don't know. Is it a Pikachu? Now here's where it gets crazy. Is it a Pikachu? It's not Pikachu dano. That doesn't, to me it doesn't sound right. Maybe to you it sounds normal, but it's Pikachu nano. It's nano. It has to become nano. Why? Don't ask why. It just does. Please don't ask why. Pikachu nano. And it has nothing to do with na for the not adjectives. It's completely unrelated. It's just Pikachu nano. Alright. What if you want to say, is today Monday? 今日は月曜日ですか? 今日は月曜日ですか? Informal it is. 今日は月曜日なの? 今日は月曜日なの? What about past tense? Was yesterday your birthday? 昨日は誕生日でしたか? 昨日は誕生日でしたか? I don't have a rule up here for でしたか, right? But it's not ですか. It's gonna just change the ka to no. So, 昨日は誕生日だったの? 昨日は誕生日だったの? Was yesterday your birthday? Oh, I missed it. All right. Now, I hate doing this, but there's a separate rule for e-adjectives. E-adjectives, okay? Let's look at it. So, ka goes to no, right? Desu ka goes to nano, we learned that. But so this actually works. If you say, 今日は暑いの, that doesn't follow the pattern though, right? Because it should be, 今日は暑いなの if this pattern worked. But this pattern does not work for e-adjectives. For e-adjectives, you must say, 今日は暑いの? 今日は暑いの? Alright? That's what you have to do. If you say, 今日は暑いなの, it feels right to you if you've been using nano for other things, but it is wrong. It's 今日は暑いの. But a lot of Japanese people actually drop the no completely and they'll just say, 今日は寒い? Or 今日は暑い? 今日は寒い? 今日は暑い? And as long as you make that last sound like a question, it's going to be informal. Okay? All right. What about this? How would you say it? Was yesterday cold? Was yesterday cold? 昨日は寒かったの? Again, that rule is the same. Okay? Ka goes to no. The only rule that changes is if you have an e adjective plus desu ka, it cannot be nano. I can't stress that enough. If you say it by mistake, if you say atsui nano, it's just wrong. They're going to understand you, but it's just wrong. All right? But again, in past tense, 昨日は寒かったの follows the same rule. But Japanese will also drop the no character. As long as you make it sound like a question, you can say, 昨日は寒かった? 寒かった? As long as you do that raising up sound, you got a good question. All right? All right, here's a good one. Let's say your friend is going to go to a special dance party at school. A dance. Like the Sadie Hawkins dance or something like that. Normally you'd go with your boyfriend, right? But guess what? She's not going with her boyfriend. You could say to her, 彼氏と行かないの? Means, what? 彼氏と行かないの? You're not going with your boyfriend? Okay. 彼氏と行かない? I think having the no sounds better there, but you could drop the no. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you a rule that's not really a rule, but it always works. Okay? And it'll help you with that nano thing. Let's look at it. So, if it ends with an e plus desu ka, okay, for example, 行かないですか? That is desu ka, right? Remember, we made 行かない, which is informal of not go, right? Won't go. To made it back into polite to say 行かないですか? Are you not going? Right? I could have said also 行かないno. I would not say 行かないなの. Does that make sense? If you have e desu ka, it's not going to be e plus nano. It's going to be e no. That's the rule. That's why e adjectives can't be e nano, right? 暑いの? 行かないの? It's not going to be nano. All right? 高いですか? 高いの? Is it expensive? Okay. Here's where you could make a mistake. 好きですか? 好き is not an e adjective. Okay? It's not any adjective. So it must be 好きなの. 好きなの. If you say 好きの, makes no sense. It just doesn't work. They would not know what you meant. 好きなの has to be the proper thing there. Okay? So let me remind you of what this rule is. Let me sum it up. For what we know right now, if you have ないですか or e adjective plus ですか, it only goes to no. Everything else goes to なの. That is it, but I have this leftover slide for some reason. I'll see you all in the next video where we talk about the super important ta form, which is going to require you to do a little bit of memorization, but I have a memorization technique that's going to help you out. I'll see you in a few minutes. I think you should continue watching. Bye.